To understand the idea of freedom, we must first comprehend the concept of unity. Nothing in this cosmic whole could be called free if it jeopardized the liberty of another part of it. That would be a form of self-destructive behavior. That would be a kingdom divided against itself, as Jesus predicted 2,000 years ago. God's kingdom is a single kingdom. Or, to put it another way, this divine presence is one presence that manifests itself everywhere. As a result, we understand that true liberty requires true unity. We are one with an ultimate oneness, and we are one with an unchangeable rule of cause and effect in motion. The law of cause and effect is always in play. We are one even though we are many, and because each of us is a part of the total, we will only harm ourselves if we seek to destroy each other. Then freedom will come only to the extent that we no longer do anything that harms others. We're smart, we're strong, and we're here to succeed. We exist in a state of consciousness in which we know nothing and no one opposes us. Nothing we learn or believe leads us to believe that Spirit wishes for us to be in pain. What type of universe has a God who suffers and then makes his creation suffer? We don't believe a word of it. Old religious traditions, as well as those that hold to the belief that people must be saved or redeemed, will perish. They are founded on fear and only provide comfort to those who are afraid. It is a fact that people are suffering all around the world. Suffering, on the other hand, is not a requirement of God. We may claim that the world was in darkness until electricity was found. It had to crawl around on the surface of the planet until technology allowed us to fly and drive. The world as a whole is constrained, not by the infinite, but by our lack of understanding of our own freedom. And when it does start to establish its freedom, it rarely does it directly or readily. It frequently takes forward and backward steps. It usually results in a new bonding that is slightly better than the previous one. It usually results in a new bonding that is slightly better than the previous one. We are extremely likely to give birth to a new and subtler demon if we kill the old one. Only until freedom is linked to intelligence will it be complete. We want to have the knowledge to understand that life and people cannot be divided against one another. This presence, this energy, pervades everything. We will be injured as long as we attempt to hurt. We want to be free. We don't enjoy suffering, we don't like poverty, and we don't like being unhappy. Nobody wants to go to sleep worrying. We feel inner independence, liberation, and a sense of belonging to something bigger. Yet, in our daily lives, we face limitations and lose sight of who we are. We are torn between what we believe should be and what we observe in the world. We appear to be two people, one who understands God as everything there is and the other who experiences lack and constraint. In the human consciousness, the evolution of freedom is a painfully slow process. Many movements around the world that claim to be pursuing liberty simply result in the creation of new forms of slavery. The world is not quite there yet, as it is always evolving and moving forward. The artist continues to paint work that he does not yet see. When we want freedom, we must accept that it can never be achieved by imposing one group's will on another. It is eventually born to such a degree that individuals are made free and do not enforce bondage on others as a result of their freedom. The fundamental spirit of democracy is a spiritual vision of liberty, freedom, and flexibility that allows for change and progress. Alternatively, institutions will work against freedom. We strive to improve our democracy in the same way that we strive to improve and rectify our thinking. We see improvements in our own lives fast because we trust the process and know we'll be supplied and supported.